Dear students, now we'll start the very important unit, turbo machines. First, we will discuss the centrifugal pump, then second part, turbo machines, turbines we will study. So centrifugal pump, in the market, various sizes and types of centrifugal pumps are available. The basic purpose of centrifugal pump is to lift the water at required height. For example, in case of building apartments, first story, second story, first floor, second floor, up to n number of floors, you can lift the water from ground level. So basic purpose of centrifugal pump is to lift the water. So in this unit, we are going to study in detail the technical aspect of centrifugal pumps. We will understand the components of centrifugal pump. You can draw the sectional view of centrifugal pump. So this is the inlet of centrifugal pump. This is the outlet of centrifugal pump. This is the electric motor by which it is driven. So this is the shaft of motor. Now from sump you have to take the water. The inlet pipe is known as suction pipe. Now all these things we have to study in detail. This is just introduction about the unit 5, centrifugal pump. So water is lifted from suction pipe with the help of force vortex flow created in the pump casing. And water is transferred with high pressure at the required height. So the hydraulic machine which convert the mechanical energy into hydraulic energy are called pumps. The hydraulic energy is in the form of pressure energy. If the mechanical energy is converted into pressure energy by means of centrifugal force acting on the fluid, the hydraulic machine is called centrifugal pump. You take the cross section of the casing. So this is a suction pipe inlet for the pump. This is the eye of impeller. These are the curve blades attached to the shaft. The purpose of studying the previous unit, impact object. Now we will study the application of impact object. What is the impact object in case of series of plates attached to the shaft? Now this is the case of series of curved blades attached to the shaft. So such device is known as impeller. When you attach n number of blades to the shaft, it is known as impeller. This is the eye of impeller. Now all this mechanism you can fit into the closed casing so that water will not go outside. So these are the important components of centrifugal pump: impeller, casing, suction pipe, delivery pipe. Impeller, casing, suction pipe and delivery pipe. We'll study in details. The casing of different types: volute casing, vortex casing, casing with guide blades. You can understand the heads. So this is a, you can say, eye of pump or axis of shaft. From this you have to take the vertical measurement. So the height taken from the sump water level to the axis of pump is known as suction head. The water is delivered up to the required height. So that is known as delivery head. So total head is suction head plus delivery head. In a second part, of this centrifugal pump, we will understand working principle of centrifugal pump. So basically centrifugal pump works on force vortex flow. Whatever the water coming through suction pipe at the eye of pump, water is get rotated with the help of prime mover electric motor attached to the shaft of pump. So blades are rotating, so water is also get rotated, and by centrifugal action water will move away from the center. So the working principle of centrifugal pump is the centrifugal pumps works on the principle of force vortex flow, which means that when a certain mass of liquid is rotated by an external torque, the rise in pressure head of the rotating liquid take place. Thus, a high pressure head is created and the liquid can be lifted to the high level. So like this, water enters at the eye of impeller, and by the centrifugal action it will move radially. So the high pressure is created and result is increase in required lift of water. So this is the working principle of centrifugal pump. We will take in detail all these things. This is just introduction about centrifugal pump. So this rise in pressure head is proportional to the tangential velocity, or indirectly omega and r square. If you understand the pressure, this side is low pressure. After rotating the fluid, there is a high pressure. At the eye of impeller, there is a negative pressure. So atmospheric pressure is always acting on the pump. That should be taken into the account so that vapor will not form while working the centrifugal pump. So we'll study all these things in detail. Clear working of principle of centrifugal pump. Now, there are various heads: suction head, delivery head, static head, manometric head. These are important to design the analysis of pump. Similarly, there are efficiency, manometric efficiency, mechanical efficiency, and overall efficiency. We will study in detail their mathematical formulation to understand the pump for required power, for required lift of water. So there are various heads and efficiencies of centrifugal pump. Now, work done of centrifugal pump. Now we already studied impact of jet on curve vane, when vanes are attached to the series of, or you can say case of series of blades. Now this is the case of series of blades, jet acting tangentially at one end. Now here water enters radially, so alpha is 90 degree. So by drawing the velocity triangles at inlet and outlet, one can estimate the work done in case of centrifugal pump. Now as fluid is rotating by external torque, so in this case work done is estimated based on the torque multiplied by the angular velocity, where torque is rho a v1, angular velocity is vw2 into u2. You can estimate the work done per second per unit weight of water. Here mass is rho q, where q is discharge. You can estimate pi d2 b2 into vf2. So we'll take in detail work done. In this case, remember, in all the cases of centrifugal pump, water enters readily. How we understand the eye of impeller? It is at 90 degree. So alpha is 90 degree. So VW1 is 0. Next concept is priming of a centrifugal pump. So this is very important. If you don't do the priming, only air is lifted, no water will be lifted. So priming is necessary, the fluid which you want to lift. So in short, it is an operation in which suction pipe casing up to the delivery valve is completely filled with the water. Then only the suction lift will start and water will take for action and it will transfer to the required height. So the process of filling this liquid with the in the pump up to the delivery valve is known as priming. Now minimum speed to start a pump. So there are various manufacturers, various types of pumps available in the market. You can understand which pump is suitable for your requirement. So for the given head, one can estimate what is the RPM required. So this is the relation. If you know the efficiency, you can use this relation. Minimum starting speed for centrifugal pump. Similarly, one can estimate the maximum suction lift that particular pump can lift the water. If you don't take into account, there is a chances of vapor formation. Cavitation will cause the damage of pumps. So this much is the maximum suction height. You can estimate the maximum suction lift for particular pump. We will take in detail all these things. In this also we are going to study the net positive suction head. So this side is low pressure side. After working on fluid, this is the high pressure side. So net positive suction head. The absolute pressure must be greater than vapor pressure, or you can estimate the absolute pressure head by dividing the rho g and vapor pressure head. If it is more, then there is no chances of cavitation. So cavitation is defined as the phenomena of formation of vapor bubbles of a flowing liquid in a region where the pressure of liquid falls below its vapor pressure and the sudden collapsing of these vapor bubbles in a region of higher pressure. Then there is a chances of cavitation. So to avoid the cavitation, net positive suction head must be greater than or equal to 0. So you can estimate the NPSH and you can understand what are the effects of cavitation, what precaution must be taken to avoid the cavitation. So we will discuss in detail NPSH. So Thomas cavitation factor is there for a particular pump. You can understand how much net positive suction head can be possible for that particular pump. Then based on the requirement, you can attach the pumps in series or pumps in parallel. When it is require more head, sometimes you require more head, sometimes you require more discharge. Accordingly, you can connect the pump. So when the impellers are mounted on the shaft, so far we have seen only single impeller. If more than one impellers are mounted on the shaft, then it is known as multi-stage centrifugal pump. So there are two cases, pumps in series and pumps in parallel. So pumps in series, at constant discharge, purpose is to increase the head. So if you attach the two impellers, head developed by a single impeller, then number of impellers, you will get the total head. Discharge is constant. So when the purpose is to increase the head, you attach the pumps in series. When it is required the more discharge, you can connect the pumps in parallel. So discharge 1, discharge 2, you will get total discharge Q1 plus Q2. So you can attach the pumps in parallel. Now next part is very important, model testing of centrifugal pump. So when it is required to lift 1 meter cube of water at a head of 1 meter, what should be the minimum speed of centrifugal pump? So you can work on the prototype. So there are conditions, 4 conditions are given. If the model satisfy this condition, you can go for actual construction of pump. So first condition is for specific speed. Second condition is for manometric head. Then discharge and power of pump. So you can do the model testing of centrifugal pump based on these 4 relation. So there are numericals in all this discussion, that also will take in detail. So before manufacturing actual large size pump, one can do the model testing of prototype. So this is the mathematical relation based on which you can test the prototype and then go for actual construction of centrifugal pump. Then to understand the pump, to estimate the performance of pump by keeping one parameter constant and by changing the other, you can develop the different characteristics curves for centrifugal pump. So there are 4 types of characteristics curve: main characteristics curve, operating curves, constant efficiency or iso efficiency curve, constant head and constant discharge curve. So that also we are going to discuss in detail. For example, you can plot speed versus power curve, speed versus discharge curve, speed versus head curve. Now from model testing we know the relation: head is proportional to n square, discharge is proportional to the speed, power is proportional to the n cube. So like this you can plot the various curves. So all these curves we have to study in detail, how to draw this curve and how to take the observations and importance of all these curve while selecting the and designing the pumps. So these are the various curves. These curves are known as characteristics curve of centrifugal pump. Then various types of pump, reciprocating and submersible pumps we will also discuss. So working mechanism of reciprocating pump, how the crank is moved, how the water is get lifted in case of reciprocating pump. So all these things we are going to discuss in detail in the subsequent sections. So this is all about the centrifugal pump. Now we will do the study in detail. Clear? Thank you.